The night began like any other for 19-year-old Yusuf. The city was quiet, wrapped in darkness, the streetlights flickering with a tired pulse. He walked with his hood pulled low, hands shoved deep in his pockets, trying to warm his fingers in the early winter air. Yusuf wasn't the kind of person who stayed out late, but tonight he had lingered far longer than he should have, sitting alone by the riverbank, listening to the water and trying to silence the noise in his mind. Life had not been gentle with him lately. His father's passing, his mother working day and night, his grades falling, his friends drifting toward things he didn't want to follow, and above all, a quiet fear, a fear that maybe Allah had abandoned him. He never said it out loud, but all the unanswered prayers piled inside his heart like stones. Tonight, he whispered the words for the first time. "Are you still with me, Allah? Or did you forget me?" The river didn't answer. Only the cold wind did. Yusuf sighed, stood up, and began walking home. He didn't know that this night was not a normal night. It was a night when angels walked closer to the earth than he ever imagined. The night his destiny would shift forever. The night he would learn a truth that would mark him for the rest of his life. Allah never leaves his servants. Even when they've fallen, forgotten, or given up, Allah sends help before we even know we need it. Tonight, that help came in the form of a hidden angel. One, the warning that wasn't heard. Yusuf turned into a narrow alley shortcut he always used. The street was dim, shadows swallowing the walls. A single streetlight buzzed weakly overhead. Halfway through, he stopped. A strange feeling gripped him, as if someone were watching him. He turned sharply. Nothing. The alley was empty. "Get a grip," he muttered, shaking his head. "You're just tired." But then he heard it. A whisper. Soft, gentle, urgent. "Not this path." Yusuf froze. He looked around again. No one. The voice wasn't human. He felt it, not through his ears, but in his soul. He rubbed his face, trying to shake the feeling. "I'm imagining things. I'm stressed," he said under his breath. But deep down, something in him trembled. He took one step forward, and the whisper sharpened. "Not this path." This time the words came like a push, a force inside his chest. Yusuf stumbled backward. His heart pounded. Fear crawled up his spine. Okay, he whispered. "I'll take the long way." He turned back, walked out of the alley, back into the street. He didn't know that only 30 seconds after he left, 2 masked men walked into that same alley, weapons concealed, waiting for whoever crossed their path. And they waited a long time, confused why the boy never came. 2, the stranger on the bench, walking the long way home. Yusuf felt shaken. He stopped at a bus stop bench, trying to calm down. Then he noticed someone sitting at the far end. A man, tall, still, dressed completely in white. Not modern clothing, but something timeless, flowing, clean. The man was looking down, hands folded, as if waiting. Yusuf approached cautiously. "Salam," he said softly. The man slowly looked up. Yusuf gasped. The man's face was beautiful, not in a human sense, but in a way that made his heart calm instantly, as if looking at him was looking at safety itself. "Wa alaykum assalam, Yusuf." The man replied, voice like gentle wind. Yusuf froze. "How do you know my name?" The man smiled, serene. "I know much more about you than your name." Yusuf took a step back. "You're not from around here, are you?" His voice trembled. The man chuckled softly. "No, not from here." "Are you?" Yusuf's voice cracked as he whispered. "Alive?" The man nodded gently. "Yes, though not in the way you mean." Yusuf's heart raced. "Who are you?" he whispered. The man stood up slowly. Even standing, he seemed weightless, graceful, effortless. He placed a hand on Yusuf's shoulder. Warmth spread through his body instantly, like sunlight on a cold morning. "I am a guardian, Yusuf." "A guardian?" The man nodded. Every soul has moments in life when Allah sends protection in ways they cannot see or understand. Yusuf swallowed. "Why me?" The man's gaze softened. "Because you called your Lord tonight," he said. even if he thought he didn't hear you. A tear rolled down Yusuf's cheek. I said, I thought Allah forgot me. The man shook his head slowly. Allah does not forget. Allah does not abandon. Allah hears every whisper, every fear, every silent plea. Yusuf covered his face with his hands. I'm not a good person, he whispered. I barely pray. I've sinned. I've drifted so far. The man gently removed Yusuf's hands from his face. And yet Allah brings you protection, before you even ask for forgiveness. What does that tell you about his mercy? Yusuf broke. He cried, not from fear, but from the overwhelming weight of mercy. 3. The road that led to the bridge. After a few minutes, Yusuf wiped his tears. Are you here for me? He asked. The man in white nodded. I was commanded to be with you tonight. Why? The man looked down the road. Because events have been set in motion. His voice grew serious. And without intervention, your story would have ended tonight. Yusuf's breath caught. Ended? You mean? The man nodded. But Allah wrote for you. Another chance. Suddenly, the street lights flickered. The wind turned sharp. Something shifted in the air. Yusuf looked around nervously. What's happening? The man turned to him. Walk with me. Yusuf followed, heart pounding. They approached the bridge that crossed over the river he had been sitting at earlier. The river roared louder now, strong currents swirling beneath the bridge. The man stopped. Yusuf stopped with him. This is where your test arrives. The man said, My test. The man nodded. Not all dangers are physical. Some attack the heart. Some attack the soul. He looked ahead. A group of young men stood at the center of the bridge, loud, aggressive, blocking the path. They had been drinking. They had been waiting. Yusuf's stomach dropped. I can't go through them, he whispered. The man placed a hand on his back. Then go with Allah. Yusuf inhaled deeply. Will you come with me? The man smiled faintly. I never left you. Yusuf nodded, trembling, and stepped onto the bridge. For the moment the angel revealed himself. As soon as Yusuf stepped onto the bridge, the group noticed him. Hey, you, one of them shouted. Yusuf froze. Another step forward. He was big, too big. What are you doing out here alone, kid? Yusuf's throat tightened. He glanced to his side. The man in white stood calmly beside him, but the others couldn't see him. Yusuf whispered, You said you wouldn't leave. I haven't. The man replied. The largest man stepped closer. Answer me. Yusuf tried to speak. Suddenly, the leader lunged forward and stopped. His eyes widened. His entire body shook. He stumbled backward as if hit by invisible force. What the? The others panicked. What's wrong? What happened? Why did you step back? The leader pointed with shaking hands. There was something behind him, bigger than... I don't know. The others stared at Yusuf in horror. They didn't see the man in white. They saw something else. Something towering. Something radiant. Something terrifying. Yusuf looked at the man in white. The angel finally revealed his true form. Just for a moment. Wings like storms of light. Eyes like rising dawn. Height beyond any human measure. But to Yusuf he appeared gentle, calm. To them, he was the unseen protector they had disturbed. The men bolted, running off the bridge as fast as they could. Yusuf collapsed, shaking. The angel folded his radiance back into the shape of a man. Are you hurt? He asked gently. No. But what? Who? What are you? The angel knelt beside him. I am a servant of Allah, sent to protect you tonight. Yusuf sobbed. Why me? I'm no one special. The angel smiled. To Allah, every believer who calls on him is special. 5. The lesson of the night. They walked off the bridge together. The angel spoke softly. Yusuf, listen carefully. You were protected tonight, not because you are perfect, not because you earned it, but because Allah is Ar-Rahman, Ar-Rahim. He placed a hand over Yusuf's heart. When you whispered, Are you still with me, Allah? The heavens heard you. Yusuf trembled. I didn't even pray properly. The angel shook his head. A whisper from a broken heart can shake the gates of heaven more than 1,000 empty words. Yusuf felt tears fall again. So what happens now? The angel smiled softly. Now you live with remembrance, with gratitude, with the knowledge that Allah is closer to you than your own soul. Yusuf nodded slowly. The angel stepped back. Are you leaving? Yusuf asked. The man smiled gently. I never fully leave. Angels are always near to those who call upon their Lord. Yusuf's heart tightened. How will I know you're there? The angel turned, beginning to fade. You'll know by the peace that enters your heart when you remember Allah. With that, he disappeared into a soft glow. The night returned to silence. Yusuf stood alone, but he didn't feel alone anymore. He walked home under the streetlights, hands no longer trembling, heart no longer heavy, and he whispered to himself, Allah, thank you for not leaving me, even when I thought you did. Above him, unseen, a gentle breeze passed, a sign of the hidden guardian still watching. And that night, Yusuf learned the truth. Allah sends his angels in the darkest moments to protect those whose hearts still call out to him, even if with only a whisper.